All right, everybody, welcome. It's week 3 of AI Playbook. And this week, we're going to be talking on AI Mastermind with Mega Agent Rick Bosley. He's also the general manager for our offices in Cocoa Beach and in Melbourne. Let me go ahead and show you what we have coming up before we jump into Rick. So, the coming weeks, we have today is AI Mastermind, and then next week, we're going to have Lead Gen with Canva AI apps. And that's going to be done by Peter Hopkins. So I would definitely come if you're interested in doing some lead gen using one of our newest tools in Canva. And I say this before each and every class. What's the one thing that by doing so, you'll get the most out of this class? And that's going to be participate. There's actually 2 things though. Just participate and turn your cameras on so we can see you and make sure that we know who we're talking to when we're teaching this class. So please make sure you've got your cameras turned on if at all possible. If you're driving, completely understand. Let me introduce you to Rick Bosley. He is a 6th-level team owner. His team's done over 35 million in sales, and they're over in the Endo area. He's a GM for Cocoa Beach and Melbourne offices. He's got a very sharp mind when it comes to business, and he's very culture focused. One of the things noticed about Rick is he started implementing AI into all of his business ventures, and that's what we're here to speak to him about today, so he can share with us what it is he and his team are doing, not just on his real estate team, but also his market centers. We got audio.
Yeah, you hear me now? I'm taking the Bluetooth out, going straight speakerphone now. This is good. You caught me laughing, going, "Where in the world did you get that picture from?" You laugh.
I didn't have one, so I grabbed it from your Facebook real quick.
You went deep for those archives. I don't even know what wedding that was.
It actually looked like it was a Keller Williams event because I noticed some of the people in the back, but I might be wrong.
Thanks for having me on here. I think you asked the question of where's my pool out of.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and make sure that we're the centerpiece.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on, everyone. And my Melbourne people, hello. I'm just 35 feet down the hallway, but I can facilitate a more proper Zoom meeting with this. The hybrids are always a little bit tough. David and Sarah, thanks for keeping the camera on. Everybody else, I trust you're listening, or maybe your Firefly or Otter is taking some secret notes. So just assume we're always being recorded now. I asked Ryan, what's the goal for today's session? You guys have probably been in here doing different AI masterminds. We do an AI mastermind once a month in our office. And it's really like any other mastermind. When I look at masterminds, we're going, what's keeping you up at night? What are some things you're working through that either you want to solve the problem, you want some validation? We're looking for systems. We're looking for models. We're looking for efficiencies. We're looking for best practices. And then with the AI focused mastermind, how can we use AI to solve those problems for us? How are we using it productively? I shared this morning with my leadership team. I feel like this meeting is almost like one of those fancy cooking shows that you show how to prep the turkey and baste it, garlic it, throw it in the oven, and then you go ding and say, I did this already, and here's my finished product. Because a lot of the coolest AI stuff we've been able to build for our team and for our office can't be done in a 1-hour mastermind. It is more thorough, but I would love to build some live prompts or projects with you. So with that, like every mastermind we start off with, if we could solve an inefficiency or help follow a model or a shadow or do something that you would like to see, how would I use AI to do that? Give me some ideas for content of what we could do for our mastermind. If you want to unmute yourself or type it in chat, whatever you want to do it, we'll organize it so we can create a little bit of an agenda and see how we can brainstorm. So I'll have 2 parts. Number 1, help me solve this. Or number 2, I've done this. I think it's pretty cool and I'd like to share it. And either way, let us know and we'll be able to go through there. Brian, thank you. No, but I don't have my butt club. I don't have page 4.
Hey, Rick, I got a thought here. David Heyer, because I'm in a recruiting role for agents that want to build their downline. How could AI help us as a recruiter wanting to build my downline, or an agent that wanting to build my downline for profit share, taking all that knowledge out there in the world about profit share and the benefits of it, and create a smart plan that could be easily built into our command system for follow up with agents that we've met out there in the field?
Okay. So I wrote down profit share. Specifically, let's build a smart plan with the audience of potential downline with the systematic. So what I heard, if we were to break that down, let's build a smart plan. And smart plan is a KW command lingo. As the book was written, the MREA book, that would be a campaign. So whether your smart plan or a campaign or a checklist or follow-up system, whatever it's going to be, what is the cadence? And can AI help us build a cadence that's of high value, high knowledge, so we can just go run the play?
It's
Perfect. Here's the one thing. And if no one else speaks up, we're going to just do that. Because you got some thoughts.
I think what I hear most of the agents talking about is lead generation. How can they use this to better their lead generation?
Is that Ryan talking there?
I would piggyback that, Ryan. Thanks for saying that, Rick. That might be more useful because I coach the new agents as they come in, and they're all coming in. You know, how can I get more leads? How can I get more leads outside of my own database? So lead gen would be great conversation.
Or even within your own database.
But within your own database. Thank you, Ryan.
Anybody else? I'll share a couple of them. Writing a business plan. It's business planning season. I am using it as a financial consultant. And so I upload my tax document or my bank statements. I update my credit card statements. I upload my amortization schedule, and it tells me my spend rate, my burn rate, my savings plan, just like any financial advisor would do. We take the time building it or spending it. So financial planning, goal setting. I use it every morning as my health coach. Doris saw me do this last week. I took a picture of a food spread that we had out, and I'm going, okay, you know my parameters that I've set up. Give me a practical diet. I'll just take a picture of the menu and say, okay, look at this menu. What's the best things I should eat? And it'll give me 2 or 3 recommendations. Thinking out of that, I've already trained it to tell me what I want and how to do it there. So it's okay if we think about some personal stuff as well. Think about the 7 circles. It's on page 1. It's 163 of the One Thing book, the 7 circles, right? That is going to be our spiritual, health, personal, key relationships, job, dating, finance. We had 25 people, plus another 20 or so in Melbourne there. Anyone in Melbourne say, it's the agenda I'd like to talk through? Please.
Anyone? Bueller.
Bueller.
You heard that, didn't they, Amy? Amy's trying to be quiet over here.
Okay. We're going to start with, I'm going to share my screen. Let me do a quick survey. Ryan, you can set up a survey for me, right? Sure. Let's do a survey. I want to poll the audience. And Dory, you'll just give me a hand list. If only one large language, there's only one large language model of AI, and every other one folded in. You can only choose one from here on out. What is your go-to in terms of your best business partner? ChatGPT, OpenAI, Claude, Anthropic, Gemini through Google, Perplexity, Grok. You could give me a survey there, Ryan, that people could give me some feedback of where they would prefer to spend time in. We will all
work on that right now.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Because I just gave about 5 or 6. Is there any other ones that need to be on that list outside of OpenAI, Claude, Grok, Gemini, Perplexity? Okay. Ryan, those did 5.
Nobody's using Meta, huh?
Meta, not enough to vouch for it. So I'll share with you, I use very heavily Claude and Chat. Chat is my I call it my cell phone AI. And Claude is my PC building project AI. Claude is a lot more analytical, data-driven. Chat is a lot more jack of all trades. And it's helped me design movie recording studios and podcast rooms. It's helped me furnish and stage homes before in my kid's bedroom. So Chat's my go-to. Claude is my business partner. You have that survey?
I'm about to launch that now for you.
Let's launch so we can make sure. I want to manually. So take a vote.
Just in case, if you want to also scan this, if you're not able to get on the computer, you can do that as well. Oops, I think I'm sharing the wrong one. Share. You can scan that QR code. Go ahead and answer. It's pretty predominant right there.
Pretty dominant, right? Let me scan my own. I'll get in the voting.
Even though we give you Gemini for free.
Does this surprise you, Ryan?
No, it doesn't surprise me. It's just like people having an iPhone or an Android phone. They're going to go to what's popular, what they know, what's easy. Which ChatGPT beat everybody to it. So that's what's known.
There's a lesson in there. Same thing we do. The first one that's in the listing table is likely going to get the listing.
Absolutely. I'm going to stop sharing now. I think everybody should have that QR code.
Okay, 84%. So with that, we'll be doing our AI today in Grok. I'll be kidding. Let me pull up the ChatGPT window so we can share the screen. Let's see if we can build some lead generation tools. Let's grab here. Let's bring it over. Share results. Don't need that. So I've got the paid version of ChatGPT. I think if you're on the call and you're using chat at any level of business partner, please get the plus version. Please get the paid version. Ryan, what time did you text Dora after my bio?
That would be
10:27, 10:30, need a bio. Have I ever written a bio? Of course I have. Has it been a minute? It has. But you know who knows a lot about me? My chat GPT knows a lot about me. So what did I do when she asked for a bio? I started a new chat. And I said, can you give me a quick bio for calling them on today for someone to introduce me? And it wrote my bio for me because it already knew about me. And so it's a business partner. It's the same way if I had an assistant, I could go with my assistant. I say, hey, do me a favor, write up a bio of me, send it over to Ryan for my 11 o'clock call. And then I add some things, and I ask a specific audience, like, hey, let's remove the trio coaching component. Let's add my team. It does 35 million. Okay, good. And so we have these conversations also with chat yesterday about you guys, but all of a sudden I find that Yahoo is my search engine. You don't ever have that? That your search engine gets taken over by a cookie or a cat? So I used to be able to Google and figure it out, but now I just take a picture of it. Yahoo hijacks my search engine. That has about once a week. It's annoying as hell. How to prevent this from happening? Yeah, super common, super annoying. Here's what you do. And it was like, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, done. So it's my tech advisor. It's my troubleshoot. It's my help. And I take pictures. These are my conversations that are had, and it remembers other conversations. You can tell it remember this. You can tell it not to remember this. We're going to do a new chat. And before I like to give it a prompt, so we know that, Ryan, you tell me, like this crowd is this, are they your normal people that are showing up? They know the basic essentials. I should look at you about writing
Yes.
prompts and doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, we taught them the AI Playbook basics on the RICE method. So it's the role and identity and their context, stuff like that.
Okay. Before I ever write a prompt, especially if I want this prompt to be one of substance, I didn't need to prep for writing me a bio. That was just a quick text. But if I'm doing a project and I want to build this like an assistant, I'm going to spend some time writing a prompt that's going to help me build it like an assistant. I'll give you an example just so we know what we're going for. Now I'm going to pull over Claude real quick. I wrote something called bid, which is my burn rate, my investments, my debt, and what I want to donate since my business planning prep. And I'm sharing this to give an example of what my prompt looked like to help me do this. It's like me training my financial advisor. And now it knows exactly what I want. So when I go here, and if I were to start, it already knows exactly what to do, and it's ready to go. I can use this now every month. I can upload my document. I share this because if you want a really good output, spend time making a really good prompt. Does it make sense? And if at any point people ask me questions, but it's going to say, what are your income sources? Where are we at? Upload your documents. I'm going to get rid of the Claude and build this exact same thing into ChatGPT. Claude is where I spend lots of time working deep for that. You can save your projects within it, and these are your projects. So if I want a new project, then I'm going to use it over and over again. I'm going to be able to save it here so I can always start a new project. What's in my mind today? I'd like to start a project that will help me, give my sheet of paper so I can type, help me with real estate lead generation for my team. What questions do you think I should ask my new lead gen assistant? Let's stop calling it AI and let's call it my lead gen assistant. Before I just start there, I want to have some dialogue. I want to know what it knows. I want to know what it should know. I want it to ask me questions. So I just told it what I want to do. If we think about who do we want them to be? Could we say they're an expert? What are they an expert in? I want you to be an expert in lead generation, models, including marketing and prospecting. I'd like to have a cadence of frequency and touches that include the 7 levels of the book, 7 levels of communication. You know that book?
Yeah, Michael J. Mayer.
Anyone know what the 7 levels are for a bonus point? What are the 7 levels? Draw the pyramid. What are the 7 levels? What's in the bottom? Of every legion that we do, what's the bottom? I know you know that in Melbourne, I've driven this pyramid like 19 times the past month. Dora, help them out.
Dora's writing.
Okay. The bottom is advertising. We can hit mass people with advertising. You'll put a billboard up on I-95 and you can do some advertising and hit a lot of eyeballs. Agreed? This is not AI driven. This is level driven. The next level is going to be direct mail.
Good job.
What's next?
Go ahead. You can yell them. Oh, I'm cheating. That's okay.
It's another kind of mail.
Electronic communication. Did you hear that?
Electronic. We call those emails for short, right?
Rick wants to eliminate that
And?
level to tab 6.
No, there should be
Phone calls.
not yet. Not yet. The phone calls we're going to
Handwritten note.
here. Yeah. Phone calls, handwritten note. Then phone calls. Then
Events. Seminars.
group or event. Good. And then
One-on-one.
one-to-one. Is there anything else you guys do to lead gen that wouldn't be involved with this? Social media is going to be a form of that electronic communication, right? So I'm going to go email/social media. But then electronic communication probably could not have shortened it. But that's it. We can agree with that. So if you see my little board, there's nothing else to do in Legion. So I might go, are you familiar with 7 levels? What do you know about the KW MREA Legion model? And then what questions do you have for me to execute this? Now, Ryan, you're my assistant. Welcome. You're on Team Rick. Ryan, I want us to build a lead generation system together. Over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I want you to become an expert with all lead gen models, marketing, prospecting. We're going to figure out and build the cadence, the frequency, the touches. Use this pyramid right here. I subscribe to it. I like it. Combine this with the KW Legion model to make sure our numbers are the same. And we're going to be able to build this cadence together. Do you know what these are? And do you have any questions for me? Isn't that what I'd ask my assistant?
You would. Your
assistant-
assistant's going to take longer to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Perfect. This is your wheelhouse. Yep. Very familiar. 7 labels, Michael Maher, advertising, direct mail, electronic email, handwritten notes, phone calls, events. Look, same exact thing. Look, we didn't tell it. It knew it. The framework goal is to move context up communication from impersonal to personal to influential to referral based. Yes, it knows it. Great. The KW Legion model, it's the backbone. Now you'll notice 3L. So it knows some of this stuff because I've talked to it before about this. You could ask your chat the same exact question up here. And if it doesn't give you a good answer, then go download some things and go get some PDFs and give it something to watch or read or study. So it will learn stuff when you give it the right information. So from the MREA, lead, listings, leverage, there's two pillars of lead gen, marketing and prospecting. The database, the core asset. Beat it, build it, systematically communicate with it. An 8x8 launch, 8 touches in 8 weeks. A 36 or 33 touch, now off from 36 to 40 for nurturing calls, events, social marketing. You have met and you haven't met. Your goal is 10 conversations, 2 appointments, 1 client. Has anything changed? To execute a custom system for you to build a cadence that fits your voice, it has some answers. Look at all of our answers. So we're going to let it interview us. So David, you've been the vocal one on here. I'm going to let you be our spokesperson. Is that okay? David says we build this Legion. We can actually do it for a database for a profit share, couldn't we? Because don't we have the
Yes.
Legion to recruit anyway?
Absolutely.
So since you spoke up there, do you want to do it and build it off of that? But as people do this on their own, maybe they could do it off of a farm or expired or their sphere. Or should we stick with sphere? That's the number one thing that people do anyway. What do you want to do here?
Stick with Sphere for the purposes of this exercise. I'm recruiting standpoint, though.
Recruiting is just a database. Should we advertise to our downline and recruit? Direct
Well, there is
mail,
an opportunity.
mail,
Hey, sure,
handwritten
why
notes?
not? There may be opportunity in those.
So if you're a productivity coach, David, I would
Yeah,
build
Mark Benson has a good point there. I use that one often as incorporating Phil Jones in there with exactly what to say, using DISC personality profiles and neurologist NLP programming.
Perfect. So before I start with your question, I'd like to add that the style I'd like to communicate would be that of Bill and Jones, exactly what you say, and keen on the neurolinguistic programming style of communication. What's important as I'm typing this, I'm actually teaching my assistant, right? My assistant doesn't know this in the class. So I got to make sure that if you're to say focus on Miami luxury, I'm not going to put that in here because then all of a sudden my chat's going to be like, oh, cool. Rick's doing Miami luxury now. When I'm not, so I'm going to make sure that this also fits within what I want. And you notice I mistyped some things. It understands what I meant, right? Just like if you guys were reading it, you'd understand what I meant. So I'm going to enter this. And yep, powerful layer to summarize, choose foundation. Legion system, 7 levels of communication, KW MREA Legion, Bill M. Jones, exactly what to say, and NLP based influence. That means every message, script, and touch point will use pattern interrupt, focus and curiosity phrases, soft closes, assumptive language, micro commitments, rapport through mirroring and tonality. And here's what it does to our framework. The 7 levels define how we connect. MRA defines when and how often. And the NLP defines what we say. There we go. It still has questions for us. It's still writing it out. Every time you enter something, it's going to respond. So we're not going to push enter until I'm done responding, or it's going to just keep adding things. It gave us some clarifying questions. Audience segments. 1, let's start with sphere of influence and past clients. Boldly. We can add other sources later. Instead of pushing enter, I'm going to just do space and go 2. So it knows I'm answering number 2. What's our unique angle? What's the belief or primary belief or promise that we want to convey? We sell smart, not desperate. They hustle. We make moving easy. What's our unique value proposition? If I were to think of my unique value proposition, it's connecting, serving, and educating the community to be the local autonomous of choice. You guys are seeing my amazing typing skills right now. Door keeps our temperature of our office about 65 degrees, so my hands are actually numb. Not sure what's happening in the office right now, but it is there. What's that? Okay. Current lead flow, on average, how many new leads do you bring in weekly or monthly from what source? Our Legion is very organic. We are getting 6 to 12 new leads a week through our listing, open houses, and referrals database. What happens when a lead comes in? Do you want to call, text, email? Is it manual? Is it automated? What do you guys think? Let's mastermind this. Do you have a preference? Database depth. How many mets do you have that we know personally? How often are they being touched right now? I'm going to list 300. I think 300 is a sweet spot for solo agents. Our team has about 900, but we have 4 licensed agents on there. So 2 to 300 is a sweet spot. 300 is each person. SOI. We have multiple teams. Who's responsible for it? Agents are let build this for a solo agent who will do both. Worry less about who does it and more that it should get done. Each agent / team and assign who owns the task. Number 7, preferred channels, conversations first, calls via one-on-one, or content first. What do you guys think? This is prospecting-based marketing enhanced or marketing-based prospecting enhanced. What would you like it to be? What do you want it to be, Ryan?
I want it to be,
Call them.
it's all about relationships. Since
So fun fact, the MREA book tells you it's marketing-based prospecting enhanced. The GIFT book tells you it's prospecting-based marketing enhanced. And here's that looks like and sounds like. Am I advertising, sending you a postcard or invitation to an event, and dropping in an email, and then I'm calling saying, did you get my invitation? So prospecting based, or I'm sending direct mail to my farm. I think there's 500 homes on my farm, and 10 people click the QR code, and then I'm calling those 10 people. Or am I door knocking or cold calling 100 FISBOs and expired, and from the 10 who showed response, I start doing a direct email campaign on them. It's okay if you are a marketing-based prospecting agent. It's actually how most MREA agents do it. If they're putting it out there, and I've always said, good marketing makes for easy prospecting. Have you ever had to make a prospecting call or a phone call to your database, but you don't feel like you have anything of substance or value to say? You've never been there besides me? And so good marketing makes for easy prospecting. So for our sphere of influence, I'm going to keep it as marketing first, enhanced with prospecting. I think if we're going after farms or expireds or FISBOs, it could be opposite. So I think it depends on the relationship. Let's stick with marketing-based prospecting enhanced or SLI. That was number 7. Number 8, desired outcome. What's the numeric goal for this outcome? If you guys were to call your DTD2 this week and you have 50 people in your DTD2, what would be the desired outcome you'd like from your DTD2 calls this week? How many want pies? But you're not a baker, so that's not your desired outcome. That's your creative marketing to be able to have a real estate conversation.
I think that number they have right there, 2 appointments a day, would be great.
2 appointments a day in closing the month. So I wonder though, how many people do we need to call? So we know that we are getting 1 appointment set for about 35 real estate conversations. So our team tracks our numbers, and that's about the conversion ratio you can aim for. So I would say my agents are not having 35 conversations a day. We're having about 5 conversations an hour. It's probably closer to 10 to 15 conversations a day if I'm a realist. David, as a PC, you're hungry people. They're going after it. How many conversations on average are they having? In bold, it'd be 20 a day.
The instructions are
20 a
I
day
like
is
the
bold. Ignite tells you 10.
yeah.
Let's even aim for 10. About every 35 conversations, 2 appointments a week would be grand. Wouldn't it?
2 appointments a week is 150,000 in GCI.
There you go. Let's roll with that. If you're a solo agent, you start there. If you have a team, then you can do more. We're going to start with this. 2 appointments a week per person. I think that'd be an amazing outcome. Okay. And then voice and boundaries. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bold or edgy should the tone be? 1 is safe and professional. 10, confident, clever, disruptive. Think Rick being Rick. Ooh. Dora, how disruptive am I? Is Rick being Rick a bad thing? I just didn't respect it good.
That was spot on.
Yeah. I'm going to go like, what do you think? 7?
I think 7.
Like, I don't want to make people cry. Workplace. Let's go with 8. But I also don't want to jump to the first. We had a conversation yesterday with my director of sales and ops, and they talked about doing food drive. We were planning our 2026 calendar, and they talked about a food drive and how Selling Food has an amazing food drive. I asked her, I said, how many leads or appointments or referrals you get? She goes, nothing, but I filled up 3 traders of food. And I asked her, I was like, I wonder if you are the philanthropist who, oh yeah, happens to be a real estate agent, or the realtor who gives back to the community. Are you giving away pies or building an event to talk about their real estate goals and their equity analysis? And the pies is a cool way to say thank you for that. So I think that 7 keeps it. I'm a real estate agent who's friendly, or are you the favorite professional? And if they want it, they'll come and get me. I'm a little more direct, so I'm going to go with the 7. Let's roll and see what this comes out for us. And everything, build a marketing-based process enhancement system focused on your SOI and past clients designed to generate 2 appointments per week per agent. Connect, serve, educate community so your team becomes a local economist of choice, especially data-driven relationship anchored. 3 models that's approach, 7 levels, MREA and Phil Johnson LP. Confident, conversational, slightly edgy, 7 to 10, precision language that feels personal, valuable, and intentional. Phase 1, weekly rhythm. Each week focused on values, visibility, and voice. On Monday, send a quick market pulse voice, memo, or text to 5 contacts. To 5 people, and do that, levels 3 and 5, to stay top of mind. On Tuesday, let's do a social media post, passive attractive. On Wednesday, let's do 15 to 20 calls. So this was the DM or text. This is going to be the calls. It has ABC groups. So I might remind it here at this point. Instead of ABC group, do you know the DTD2? For the sake of time, I'm not going to do it here, but I would tell it what the DTD2 is. So let's break it down as A&W, B&E, D&O, H&B, P&L, C&K, all those things. And I would probably upload that schedule. You know where you can find that schedule, Ryan? Exactly. Can you find
Actually,
that
like
and
the
put it in the
ABC.
chat for me?
Sure will.
And then I'll update it and say, let's use this cadence. Thursday, let's do 3 to 5 handwritten notes. It knows I have BombBomb. Go ahead and use Orson BombBomb videos. On Friday, email or DM real estate minute. And the weekend, attend or host a local community open house. There's 7 touches per week per agent across it all. And then you have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You rotate every 90 days, quarterly call plan. That is the DPD2, right? That's phase 1. It's going to be, how do we just touch these agents? Phase 2, here's the communication that's going to help you in your text, in your BombBombs, in your videos. Not sure if you see what's happening in Oviedo lately, but would it be crazy to think your home might be worth more? Would it be okay to send you a quick break right when I'm seeing? Some people are waiting for rates to drop. Others are using this window to find out competition. Which side are you on? When we look at options next week, would you prefer to start with your home to sell for or what you could rent for? We've always supported us. We're hosting a private event just for our friends and clients who referred us this past year. It feeds directly into it. And then implementation roadmap. So it says, let's segment. So it actually told us our ABC. A is top 50 people per agent. You constant referrals to your advocates. They've used you or they referred you. Friendly is fear of influence. They haven't used you, but you feel like they would if the opportunity was easy. That's the next 100, 150. And a light touch is everybody else. So we understand our database is everybody. Our sphere of influence who we're friendly with, and our advocates are actually those who put food on the table. Look, it knows smart plans and command. I didn't tell it smart plans and command. It knew that already because it knows my DNA. And so each one gets, my A people get 12 personal touches, quarterly phone calls, quarterly invites, notes, and videos. My B's a little bit less, and my C's digital only, everybody else. How does someone move from a C to a B? If someone's got the light touch, everybody else in my database, how do they get promoted from light touch to friendly SOI? To me, they become friendly. And how does someone move from friendly to advocate? They use it to referral. I'm seeing here that if I highlight it, it actually says ask ChatGPT. So I'm going to do this and go, what does that mean? Is there a limit to this group? Good question. Smart. There's no hard limit. No one limits your ability to automate meaningful touches to them. 50 for group A, 50 for group B, 300 to 1,000 for group C. So it just goes through there. Where would I go from here? Because if my assistant gave this to me in a matter of 45 minutes, I'd be pretty pleased with that assistant, wouldn't you? I think I'm pretty pleased with that one. Does this make all of you guys now lean lead generation agents? I don't think it does. This is great. Where to start and how much will this cost me? How far in advance should I be planning these events? And at what budget? The common question? Because what I just told us was taking 3 or 4 highly endorsed lead gen models, systems, authority, sources, put it into one specific thing for it, and our agents still don't do it. So where do I start? How do I begin?
PDF's in there for you too.
Thank you. Let me open up the chat and download that. And great. Let's say, hey, here's where you start. Let's tag and segment your SOI and command. This is where I'm going to say, hey, in addition to ABC, we use a segment called DCD2. Now I want to educate it. So I'm going to tell it what it means. Do the database 2. And we call 2 letters of the alphabet each week and each week. And that goes through 13 weeks, which is 1 quarter, and we start fresh each quarter. And you incorporate. And then I'm going to just add a file, and we're going to add the file of the KW 2. It's going to say, wow, this is great. Thanks so much. There we go. Now it's integrated UGD2. It tells us the cadence, tells us the call. We've spent less than an hour so far. I'm going to get back up here to where do we start? Create one local comment. Let's go create the template. Segment our group. We know who we're calling. Tag your DTD2 and start with 5 calls. Just the first 5. Write 1 handwritten note per day. Does that sound familiar? In Ignite, 1 a day, 1 a day. Phase 2, month 2 and 3, let's add some layers. Schedule our first event. Small, easy, low cost. Launch a market minute updated video and implement a quarterly call plan. Then, after that, keep this going over and over again every week and a handwritten note every day and phone calls every day. Write 1 note expansion. So now his goal is to automate the marketing. Let's get those emails and newsletters autopilot. Let's do a larger event with our community. Maybe we're tapping into other sources. Let's start identifying our VIP. Our cost breakdown. Weekly, monthly cost range, 0 to 150 a month. Buy an event, 300 to 1,500, depending on the size. Ongoing. If this is going to be customized, I would tell it. The size of my database is 319 people. 67 are in my sphere of influence and 4 are part of my advocate. Create me a budget and give me some good ideas of what I can do to throw a client event for 65 people, knowing maybe 12 will show up. You can lean $100 a month and scale as ROI shows up. If one referral is 10,000 and 1,000 quarterly events is still a 10x. Could you throw 1,000 and get a referral from it? Now with sphere of influence, they can agree that referrals don't always come in the event, right? They don't walk into your pie party with a referral. But 2 weeks after they got a pie from you, they're going to call you with a referral. Or better yet, you're going to call them and ask for a referral and they're going to give it to you. Here's your event timeline and planning. You got your lead time, budget, and all this is there. What do I recommend right now? And then you want to build a 90-day launch plan. What's the next thing you want me to draft? Can we agree this is a really good baseline of where to start? And we did it in 51 minutes. But here's what we have. We just have one chat conversation right now. So write me a new prompt, one that I can share in my mastermind for other agents to use all of the same principles. You will need to ask them their target source. No, let's keep it SOI. It will be for SOI. You'll want to know where they sell and their UDP, as well as the size of their ABC segment. Based off of this, let's see now what a good prompt sounds like. You're an expert in real estate lead generation, marketing psychology, KW MREA systems, building a sphere of influence lead generation system that integrates 7 levels, KW MREA, still Jones, DTD2. What you need to know about me is what market area, where do I sell, what's my UVP, and how many people do I have in my segmentation. Deliverables I want you to build: 90-day launch plan, sample use schedule, scripts and text, monthly event, automation recommendations, metrics to track. My goal is to get predictable outcomes so I can generate 2 appointments per week per agent. That's the end of the prompt. So I'm going to take this over here, Control C. I'm going to a new project. Then I'm going to create a new project. And it's going to be SOI Legion. And I should be able to keep chat and custom instructions. So instead of a prompt, I'm going to put it right here. So I guess once I put the prompt in. Okay, so creating a project, SOI Legion. Now I can go here. I can take my prompt. And it should ask me those questions. And I'm going to put that prompt in our chat. So here's your prompt that we created together. Oh, I have too many letters. I got to undo some of that. Now, you want to know who's the best partner for you in terms of Claude or Chat or Gemini. I think it would be worth doing what we just did with each of them. Because you can have almost the identical dialogue and get a different output and different response from different large language models. And if we had another hour, I would do the exact same thing in Claude and see what we got. The exact same thing in Gemini and see what we got. And I share that because if we can do the work up front and automate it to save our time afterward, we become more proficient, more efficient. And I think so many times we as agents look for the easy button, quick, And by doing so, even if this is the best one, if you hire the first person you interview, probably not. So if you want to find a good business partner for what you want to do, maybe go interview 2 or 3 or 4 of them instead of using the one that you just downloaded first. And I really recommend that because I'm a chat guy. You can see I've got it with chat, but I'm surprised how light and just prompt was. Remember I showed you the getting my financial advisor prompt? And it was like 17 pages long. That analytical Claude. This is good enough chat. And I think in a lot of ways, ChatGPT is good enough. Claude is not social. Claude has zero creativity. Claude cannot make pictures. Claude cannot do anything like that. But man, it can read a spreadsheet and analyze some data like a son of a gun. Claude, I would trust more to read a book and interpret it for me than chat. Gemini, as Ryan would share, if you don't want to use or pay that $20 a month, Gemini is included as part of your KW Suite tool as you're part of G Suite. We can put that same thing in Gemini. And we already have a prompt. Actually, let's do one more thing. Let's do right here. I'm going to go back to our chat we had, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'd like to use this framework and other LLMs. Would you recommend a different prompt to be written in other LLMs? If so, write one for me to use in Claude and Gemini. They're going to be right. Let's see if it says, yeah, you got to be different. Yeah, different LLMs interpret and execute different prompts differently. You want to say a different version. Claude prefers conversational style guidance. It does best when you explain context or reasoning first, and you want structured output. Gemini prefers direct prompts and clear, bold instructions, examples, and output formatting. So now it has a prompt for Claude. It's a little more thorough even. There's more text. And then it gives me a Gemini prompt. Ryan, I'm going to share this whole thing. I should be able to just take this, but we can see how you hire 3 different assistants, you're going to get 3 different outputs. You use 3 different LLMs, you're going to get 3 different outputs. And which one should you use? And I pay and keep Claude, and I pay and keep Cat because I think each has its own spot. So I copied the link, put it in the chat, and now you guys have the link for this chat, and you can feel those prompts. I think that's our time, right? We're right at 12 o'clock.
Good job.
And I typically like a lot more interaction, but I think that's the nature of Zoom and foreign territory. So I'm okay that my voice carried over most of it. What did you guys, doesn't have to be the most amazing or the groundbreaking or the one thing, but what's something that you said, this is a good investment of my time today? What's something that you took away? Maybe it's whiteboard stuff. But what's something you took away that you're going, this was a good use of my time? I'd love to get some feedback.
Don't everybody rush. Don't rush to the keyboard.
It really was a conversation. It's like talking to your assistant. If you were masterminding with your assistant in your office, the conversation you were having in typing is exactly like that.
Talk to your assistant. When you're asking to do something profound to make your life or business easier, talk to it like it's an assistant. It's not just a glorified Google search. The big takeaway.
Who else has got something to share they picked up? We call these ahas, agents helping agents.
Ryan, we have one here in Melbourne. I've never thought to use one LLM to write a prompt for a different LLM. That's a pretty big aha because kind of like Rick, I'll use different ones for different things. If I think I can have more of a breakthrough after I get started on a prompt, I don't have to go and do all of the work that I just did. It cuts down by time a ton. That's super helpful.
So if I were to do that, I'd probably take that written Claude prompt, put it in Claude, and then say, this was written from ChatGPT. Do you have 100% clarity of what questions you have for me? Because if you don't ask it that stuff, it's going to be like, well, you kind of gave me 70% of what I need, but I want to roll with it because I want to make you proud. So I would say this is from chat. It wrote it for me based on the conversation we had. What else do you need? But take it, right? You've been teaching these for a while. Anything that was reinforced the hammer and the nail that you've been driving in, or something new or unique that stood out for you?
No, I think you went through the methods pretty well by making sure you explained who the chat was supposed to be emulating, who your assistant was, so that they could do it properly. And I've been big on leveraging the AI to help me write the prompt itself. So you hit the nail on that. The only thing I want to add to it is not something you did wrong, but I just want to make sure that if you guys are putting any information into this like client's private information, please make sure you've gone into your settings and turned off the settings for sharing this to help improve any of these LLMs, because you don't want their personal information being shared across the internet.
Yeah, Jimmy would not be happy if we do not help improve. By helping improve, they are using your information, letting it and sharing it. So keep that stuff private. If you upload contracts and say, write this contract for me, or let's do a TC checklist, let's keep that stuff private. If you pay for it, it should automatically turn off. If you don't, it will automatically turn back on every 30 days. So you go back and check it periodically to make sure you keep turning off that sharing.
For me, I didn't know that you had to do it every 30 days.
If you have the free version, it'll turn it back on every 30 days.
Good enough.
Yep. You've heard me mention Jimmy. So Jimmy Ledbetter is trademarked the name AI Jimmy. He started a company called Speed to Insight, and he taught me and used a lot of Claude. So essentially, what Jimmy does is group coaching. He does have some Zoom coaching on Fridays as well. So Ryan, if you want to share that, he does a lot of Claude stuff. And then the subscription. So if you want him to help you build prompts and projects, because you're like, I just want the output, I don't want to spend all the time. I call him the cook, right? We can have the same food in the same kitchen with the same stove and cook very different meals. He's a really good AI cook. I'm a pretty good AI cook. And some people have no business being in the kitchen at all because you can't cook. So if you want to just get some Uber Eats with AI and learn more about his company, reach out to Ryan or me, and I'll put you in touch with him.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work with him to get him on one of these calls here soon.
Great stuff. I'll sign off and go walk down to our training room and give out some words.
Thank you very much,
Ryan.
sir.
It was fun.
Appreciate it. For the rest of you, please remember next week we will be continuing with AI Playbook Legion with Canva AI apps. Canva is part of our KW experience now when it comes to being creative. Peter Hopkins, a market center tech trader in our region of several market centers, he's going to be showing you how he uses Canva AI apps to lead generate. So if you want to check that out, make sure you come back next week, October 28th from 11 to 12 again, and you'll get to see Peter. It's really fun to listen to him too, because he's got a great accent. He's got that British accent. All right, guys, you have an amazing week, and I hope you were blessed with this hour of training with Rick. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Any referral in Orlando, we'd love to help in terms of your referral.
How do I get a hold of you if they need that? Right above your head?
Gotcha. Right here.
Any Orlando referrals, there you go. You got Rick Bosley at KW. Easy enough.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Goodbye.